understanding the theoretical knowledge alone may not help us getting into or solving some of the real-time problems, right? Along with that, understanding the theoretical knowledge, we need to come and implement that. Then only we'll get an hands-on experience, right? Machine learning is very much required. Before machine learning, statistics and probability, understanding the mathematical, like linear algebra around it, that is very, very much important. I could say no, definitely it is not as expected, right? So definitely we need to know the skills. So without knowing the skills, definitely you may outdated from the market.
So, hi everyone. Good morning. I am Kumar Vekaran from Cloudyml's team. Welcome to another podcast. We have our guest Sagar with us. He's currently located in Chennai and working with Mindsprint as a data scientist. So, hi, good morning, Sagar.
Yeah,
So,
good
let's
morning.
know more about you from you yourself. Let's uh, tell us more about your education background and your education background and your experience as well.
Okay, sure. So good morning and thank you for inviting me as a guest in this postcard, right? And truly honored to be and excited about this opportunity. And I could say, coming to my education background, I did my M.Tech in artificial intelligence and data science, and I also did my post-graduation diploma in management, business analytics and management. And like I am a computer science graduate, so suddenly like 3 years back, this AI field was completely booming in market. So that time, I was attending some of the conference and understanding, what exactly happening here. Because most of the conference I could able to hear, yeah, some fraud detection or diagnosis in machine learning, right? So spam detection and all that, and classification models throughout. And so I was like more curious to understand, okay, what's happening in this industry. And so that's how, I just joined into M.Tech program in AI, and just deep dive the subjects, and it's going. And coming to my like work ex, so currently I'm working at Mindsprint as a data scientist. So before to that, I was at Infosys as a business analyst. And I could say, yeah, during my M.Tech, I have published some of the research papers. So, during that time, I've chosen the COVID-19 detection in deep learning. So that was my research paper. So I could able to bring some novelty, something like local binary pattern extraction, right, into that particular research topic. So, and also in my free time, I used to conduct some like workshops in data science. So that's how I also can grow. So almost like I can recommend everyone to connect with me in LinkedIn, and almost like my follower is close to 7K. And I used to conduct some workshops like whenever I get some free time, and that's how I could also able to grow myself, and I could also help others, right? Yeah.
Great, great, great. So, while you were learning, uh, like you told, you have done post graduation in artificial intelligence, and you also published so many papers, right? Right. So, what are the difficulties you were facing while upskilling yourself, right, or while learning? So, can you talk about that?
Yes, sure. So definitely, like understanding the theoretical knowledge alone may not help us getting into or solving some of the real-time problems, right? So along with that, understanding the theoretical knowledge, we need to come and implement that. Then only we'll get an hands-on experience, right? How we can solve this real-time, or what business problem we are going to solve. So that's main objective here. And yes, so coming to this like challenges, yeah, like a lot of things, like especially we need to understand the data, like a lot of EDA or a lot of data, maybe real-time data, I think, right? It is completely messy. So we need to come and, do a lot of pre-processing around. It might take more time than model building as well. So Yeah, there are a lot of steps that are involved in pre-processing. We need to learn one by one, and we'll need to come and implement. So implementation, every implementation may not affect, right? May not be needed in your data set. So you need to be figure it out, which method may work out, right? And coming to the model building, yeah, definitely you need to be more careful. Like I have seen a lot of people just coming and exploring some of the model directly without understanding the business. So that may not work, right? Understanding the mathematical intuition behind the model and applying to our solution is more applicable. And as well as you should know like end-to-end thing, like end-to-end till deployment. So that's how industry is expecting now, right? So just knowing the model building and just knowing the stuff may not like you need industry expecting much more, right? So model building, then you need to know the EDA model building, then you need to know like how you are tuning the hyperparameter to like know how you can tune the model for for better performance, right? And you need to know like deployment as well. So that's how end-to-end flow works. So
Right.
and like a lot of things are there like Kaggle, right? So Kaggle is one of the platform where we can contribute our data sets, right? Where there are a lot of discussions happen, so we can learn a lot from their discussions as well. Then what else? Like go and read a lot of blogs, right? In that way, what happened? We can upgrade our skills. So definitely, in an industry point of view, upgrading our skills is very much important. Otherwise, we'll be outdated in market, right? Especially nowadays, due to Gen AI is booming in industry and all. So definitely we need to upgrade ourselves. We need to refer or read a lot of articles, blogs, attend a lot of conferences, right? And participate in Kaggle. So this is how I recommend. I tell everyone to do the same. And also, if you are more curious, like you can also write some research paper around, like whenever you maybe you have a bachelor degree or just enter master or if you are entering into job. So this might also help you out to getting or landing into a job.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as you talked about the skills, like, of course, you need to publish paper, write some research papers, right? And other stuffs you talked about. But what are the top skills required as a data analyst or data scientist?
So top skills. So I could say yes, it depends from industry to industry and what kind of project they solve. So nowadays, this Gen AI is really booming out, right?
Hmm.
So I could say that, whatever company needs, so we should be willing to learn that in short span of time and come and implement that. So that's how industry is expecting now. If some project comes tomorrow in Gen AI, so immediately we need to upskill and come and implement that, right? So definitely, I could say machine learning is very much required. And before machine learning, statistics and probability, right? Understanding the mathematical, like linear algebra around it, that is very, very much important. So even in interview, they might, ask like how you solve this problem, right? So they might ask like, okay, what is the mathematical intuition behind this algorithm? Like we have classification, we have regression. So they can name anything and they can ask us. So that's why understanding the mathematical intuition is very, very much important. As just going and applying some random scikit-learn library and getting the output or getting the accuracy, right? That is not that important, but understanding the mathematical is very much important behind that algorithm. And I could say like nowadays this deep learning, right? In deep learning, there are a lot of again a lot of models like ResNet, DenseNet. So this is some of segmentation algorithm or detection like YOLO V8 or whatever. So if you can implement that or learn that, it will be very much good. And also like Gen AI, right? Definitely get some API from chat OpenAI and implement your own, build some similar kind of chat GPT, right? With your open AI as well. Open AI API key and build some Flask or Fast API, build some application around that. So do something like this. So what happens? Like your visibility might increase. So you just doing the stuff, and along with that, you need to come and post somewhere, like for the visibility. Like LinkedIn is the best platform, I could say, right? So that your network connection also grows, and you can also come and showcase your skills in front of recruiters or hiring managers. Yes.
Right, right. So you talked about generative AI, right? And somewhat related to chat GPT, also Gen AI. So uh, there is a fear among the learners that this is going to take our job. Okay, so what is your say about that?
I could say no. Definitely, it is not as expected, right? So definitely, we need to know the skills. So without knowing the skills, definitely you may outdated from the market. But with knowing
Right,
the skills, definitely you are not. With how industry grows, is like definitely we also need to grow ourselves as individual, right? Then
mm,
we won't be outdated or we won't be thrown out from the market. So that's how like we need to attend a lot of conferences on that's very important, right?
mm.
Especially we may not get everything in Google or so we have to attend conferences. We have to read a lot of research paper blogs. So that's how we can also grow. So if some business problem like that arises, right? So we need to think, we need to brainstorm like how we can solve this. So maybe one simple logic may be enough, right? But we need to brainstorm a lot, like okay, how we can implement that. So like bringing that solution to the table matters more, right?
Right, right, right. Okay, so if we talk about the interview part, like you joined Mindsprint, okay, so it's been around 6 months, I guess, right?
Yes, yes.
So, what kind of questions are asked when you give a interview of data science?
Yes, so there were two technical rounds mainly. So one technical round mainly focus on like the programming part. Like so, you need to be very skilled in I could say data structures like basic like hooks, concepts and all, like dictionaries, list, and some sort of questions were in pandas. So it was like we need to share a screen and they might tell okay based on that logic we need to come and implement it. So that's how like knowing the simple list, dictionary, basic understanding of pandas. Uh, uh, so that's what I expect. The questions were right, and yeah, and pandas were there. Then and they might ask like deep dive into a project. So whatever things that you're putting in a resume, right? Even maybe if they show something like related to SVM, so they might come and ask more. So if they see something about linear regression, so they might comment, or if they see something about Azure, so they might ask more about the deployment part. So it's everything like what kind of project you're putting in a resume. So that need to be very crisp and like I could say it need to be very short, right? So that recruiter can read it and they can understand from their side and they can ask you. So whatever you're putting in a resume, make sure you know that each and every keyword, technically as well as non-technically speaking.
Right, right. Because of course, resume
Second
matters.
round, second round again, it was more of project discussions only. And like they have given some problem statement. So like how we think to that, right? So how we solve that problem. So like that also matters. So they were expecting that, like they gave some problem statement and they expect us to answer like, okay, like how this can be done or which approach we suits in ML, right? Such things.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Right, because you were also talking about the resume part. Of course, in resume, if you mention everything on which you don't have even the command, then definitely
correct.
there will be questions based on that, and you won't be shortlisted or you won't go for the further routes. Okay, so we should be very smart enough to mention what we know perfectly in the resume.
Correct.
Great, great. So, see, along with these skills like Tableau, Power BI, ML, DL, what are the other skills which is very much necessary to sustain in the domain?
So coming to the data analyst role, so definitely SQL or one sort of visualization tool, Power BI or Tableau, very much required, right? So
Mhm.
there, ML may not play important role as a data analyst. And coming to the data scientist, like we need to do the modeling part, right? So there ML or Gen AI use case or deep learning use case might occur. And again, it totally depends from industry to industry again and what kind of project they are implementing. So I've seen as a person who is data analyst is coming and implementing the like model building as well. So it's totally depends upon like because nowadays tag may not play important role. Only thing like their skills and like what kind of project they implement matters. And coming to the ML role, we are machine learning engineer role. So for that, purely it will be more of programming, like developing a model, end-to-end architecture, developing the pipeline, or anything, maybe Flask or fast API deployment. Definitely, you need to know, as well as you need to know the deep learning architecture. That's for sure, right? For ML engineer role. Yeah, and for BI, be a business intelligence analyst, right? For that, yeah, Power BI or SQL might play very, very important role. Yes.
So suppose there are so many people who are in a fear of, like, I cannot enter the domain. Okay. Either because of technical skills, or some are in a fear that I don't know mathematics, statistics, and maths. Okay. And because of that, I cannot enter the domain. Okay. And there are, like, I'm talking more about the non-coding enthusiasts. Okay.
Mm,
So those who are from the non-coding background, what is your suggestion for them?
okay. I always believe like if I can do or if others can do, definitely everyone can do, right? So
Right.
definitely, like you need to, if someone is entirely from a non-coding background, so definitely he or she need to understand the basics. So here in ML, the basics is statistics and probability, understanding the linear algebra around it. So that's
Mhm.
very, very important. So on top of that, he or she can learn Python, right? So Python is one of the programming, oh, Python or R, but preferably like Python is best now, right? Because most of the industries using that. Python. You need to know the Python programming language. On top of that, you can learn like started learning slowly like ML, right? Like taking some small data set, like implementing different models around that. Like maybe start learning slowly like what business problem we can solve. Then slowly they can increase the data set to real time, and they can also implement like maybe how I can clean the data. They can sit maybe for a week or two to understand how to clean the data, right? And a lot of techniques are that they can try and implement which is better, right? Which works better in this data settings. So and definitely like seeking the advice from the mentor. So if they're in college or right or doing any course, so that's very important. And because nowadays like everything is mixed, like getting the sequential learning is very, very important because I can learn from one topic from here and next topic from some other domain. Like I mean some one topic from deep learning, one topic from machine learning, it may not work. So everything need to be sequential, right? So if I'm learning pandas, I need to cover maybe entire breadth of the topic there and there, right? And then I can go and learn to the next topic. So it's like how we are peeling the onion, right? Like slowly we can do, like
Yes.
definitely we can
Mhm.
succeed in that. So have a growth mindset, right? Like and curiosity in learning. So that's the most important. Then coming to the ML, they can start at learning slowly. Coming to the DL, they can implement something. They can showcase. Showcasing is very important. Just doing around and stuffs and keeping in your own laptop doesn't matter, right? Come and showcase. Publish on a GitHub. Same thing. Post it in a LinkedIn so that someone can come and view it, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then what else I can say, like cultivating, curiosity. So that's very, very important. Like why I'm doing this. So if he or she can know that, then he or she can sit on top of that, and
Mhm.
they can extend their kind of learning again, right? Doing the practical projects. So that's very, very important. So just doing maybe. house prediction or iris data set or Titanic data set may not work. So they need to come and at last implement the practical real-time project, like whatever they have learned it, right? So
Right.
that's all about that. And definitely you need to be good in communicating, like at last, right? So if you are good in all the things, you can slowly start, maybe in span of 3 to 6 months you can learn that, upskill yourself slowly, and you can overcome any obstacles by implement through implementation. So that's the only like a mantra here, right? Through implementation, practical implementation, you can push your boundaries of knowledge, and curiosity might help to reach to this data science field.
Right, right. So I think there is so much heat in this Chennai, right?
Yeah.
I was there in Chennai for 2 years. I can understand like what is the heat wave over there. I mean,
Correct,
we
correct.
used to, and I was there in. You must be aware about this ECR road
ECR. Okay, okay,
near
okay.
coastline, almost
Yeah,
the coastline,
yeah.
most
Yeah, yeah,
100, 200 meters
it's
only
all
she
the
is.
way to Pondi, the Pondi route actually, Pondicherry route.
Right,
Mm.
right. So so much of summer over there.
Correct.
Fine, fine. So, yes, thank you so much for sharing the information. Okay, and definitely it would inspire our learners also, and of course, all the data enthusiasts.